We are going to begin with Friday night, gentlemen, at the Cotton Bowl, because it's our first New Year's Six bowl game. And, ooh, baby, we've got a little bit of line movement because Ohio State, they got on the plane. They were 1-point favorite. They got off the plane. And what's that I see with my eyes here? Oh, I didn't think that they were going to play. Oh, I didn't think that they were going to play. Eric Cohen, talk to me right now. What's your best bet for this game?
Yeah, Chip, I'll tell you what, I absolutely love the Buckeyes here. I know the line, when I got it on the SportsLine site, it was -1. Now it's up to -3. Listen, this is Devin Brown's audition for a team. You know, if a lot of the pieces return next year, they could be preseason number 1, number 2. We'll see what your rankings look like after the year. We don't know who's opting out for OSU. I would assume Marvin Harrison is gone, but everybody else seems like they're coming back. Listen, this defense only gave up 11 points per game this season. They were top 4 in all major categories. Now, in Ryan Day's tenure, OSU has lost to Clemson in the CFP, Alabama in the Natty, Oregon at home, that was a bad one, Georgia, and then Michigan 3 times. I'd be surprised if he loses to this iteration of Missouri, who didn't have a big win outside of Columbia. So, Chip, I'm going Ohio State 24, Missouri 20. We're covering that line. I liked it better at -1, but I'll still play it at -3.
But, Emery, this is not your father's Missouri. I mean, Eli Drinkwitz has gotten this roster and he's gotten this team to a place where they're having one of their most successful seasons since Gary Pinkel was leading them to division titles in the early SEC era. How are you looking at this one? What's your best bet for the game?
You know what's funny? I feel like this turnaround for Missouri started last year against Arkansas. Once they beat Arkansas, then you saw a different vibe with this team. They carried it over into this year. And I just like the way they play ball because I've been a big fan of Brady Cook and how he throws the football. You talk about the tailback Schrader and what he has been able to do this season. He's much better this season than he was last year when he got acclimated to big-time Power 5 football. And this defense is opportunistic, and they're facing an inexperienced quarterback. I like Missouri to win straight up because when you factor in guys that are still playing for Missouri, facing a team that everyone puts in the top 4, and this is a brand name, this is a chance to show people, hey, we're Missouri. Coming into next year, we're going to have some smoke with us. So I like Missouri to go out here and win straight up. This is the thing about these bowl games. You got to find out who really wants it a little bit more. I think Missouri fits that MO to a T here, so I'm going with the Tigers.
I mean, look, when we look back at bowl game results, no one actually has in their mind who opted out. So Marvin Harrison Jr. or no Marvin Harrison Jr., if Missouri's got a bowl win over the Ohio State University, then all of a sudden you're going to be a little excited about it. I don't think it's going to happen, though. Give me the Buckeyes. I'm going to take all those points. So I think that the worst thing for Ryan Day, like we want to talk about motivation, the worst thing for Ryan Day would be to follow up losing to Michigan, a team that irks Ohio State fans whenever they take a loss to losing to a Missouri program that Ohio State fans think they are better than. They think they have more championships. They think that they should always beat Missouri. They look down at this former Big 12 program, and for them to be able to win this game by any margin, I think is important. I do think that it has been notable, some of the players who appear like they're going to get out there and suit up. So I'm with EC on this one. I'm going to take the Buckeyes, and I'll lay the 3 points. Again, this is a Friday night game for the Cotton Bowl, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Yes, EC.
Yeah, Chip, so here's a question. You mentioned about Ryan Day, and I think that's a great point. If they were to lose this game, what are the odds that Ryan Day sniffs around NFL jobs?
I think that the odds are that Ryan Day's camp has open ears. Emery, would you agree with that?
Oh, especially when you think about in Chicago, maybe there's an OC change. Would you go from being a college head coach to an NFL OC if you get to work with a guy that you've had success with? So there's definitely opportunities. Even in Carolina, there's opportunities. So, yeah, if he loses this ball game, definitely something that you should keep your eye on.
Well, like Ryan Day needs to maintain leverage. Ryan Day needs to maintain leverage against an Ohio State administration that may or may not be hearing from the fringiest. Because when we had the conversation the first time that it was like, hey, are Ohio State fans mad with Ryan Day? The logical, sensible response is look at how many games this man has won, a lot, and look how many games this man has lost, a few. It is absurd to think that this guy has any kind of hot seat. And while he does not have a hot seat, he has real job pressure that is not in line with his win-loss record and is totally tied to 3 straight losses to Michigan. When you are in that position, if you feel underappreciated, hell yeah, you listen to the NFL, because that at least gives you that good landing spot, or at a minimum, some leverage in the situation.
All right, Chip. So you come up with the preseason top 25s like right after the national championship game, right?
Correct.
So right now, assuming Ohio State brings back who you would think they would bring back, they win this game. What range would you have them in? Would you have them top 3 next year with Devin Brown as their starting quarterback, or a little bit lower?
No lower than 6. I think that I think Ohio State, based on year-over-year talent, they recruit. It's Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, like those 3 programs based on the way that they stack talented classes. And it's another reason why, even if there are opt-outs, I mean, Emory can tell you about Carnell Tate, or Brandon Ennis, or like any of these like young studs that have just been waiting to get after it, who I think could make an appearance in this bowl game. So I keep an eye on Will Howard, the former Kansas State quarterback, who I think could be Ohio State, Miami, or NFL at this point. So that would be another one that could change up the calculus. But Devin Brown could be good. We'll see.